I moved out at 18, and since then I've had bills to pay and a house to clean up, and I definitely still feel like a kid playing pretend, but there are some habits that I've built throughout the past years that have just helped me feel like a more real adult and stress less about being an adult. So I've divided this in 4 categories. We've got home, money, relationships, and taking good care of your body and brain, aka self-care. Starting with home, meal prepping. Roll your eyes as much as you want. Yeah, maybe you don't like eating the same thing a few days in a row, and if you don't, you can skip into the next thing. But I swear this will save you so much money, so much time, so much hate towards the kitchen, because you won't have to be coming up with new meal ideas every day for lunch and dinner. So kind of makes cooking a more relaxing experience. Plus, if you have like a lunch hour every day, then you won't have to spend it making food. You can just enjoy your whole hour watching Netflix because the food is already made, and you're going to save time, because if you make a lot of food at the same time, it kind of takes the same time as just making one meal. Or if you're like me and you kind of can make your own schedule, I'll just take like 15 to 20 minutes eating lunch, and then I can get back to work and get off work earlier because I didn't take a lot of time to make lunch. You can do this for like the whole week and prep Monday through Sunday. I don't really recommend that because you'll probably get sick of the food and it'll probably go bad. This doesn't have to be rigid. You can do it as you go, but every time you cook, if you just cook a lot more than you'll eat, it'll just make your life so much easier. I don't know if these lights are aesthetic or not. My blinds don't really close more than this, so we'll have to deal with it. Second thing is laundry. I live alone and I work from home, so I'm not getting dressed every day. If I was going to wait until I had enough blacks, colors, and whites to separately wash them, I would run out of clothes, and I probably only wash clothes like once every 3 months. So I just put everything in the laundry machine and I wash it together. If I buy a black dress, I know that every time I buy a new black piece, the dye is gonna come out when it's washed the first time, so I'll wash it by hand manually in my little sink in my bathroom. But if the clothes are like quote unquote old and have been washed a lot of times, I just wash everything together. Number 3 is it's literally asking for home gadgets for Christmas. My aunt bought me this like steamer for the clothes that is so much more practical than the regular iron thingy, and I asked my mom and my grandma to give me a joint gift and give me a vertical vacuum, and now vacuuming is just something that I actually take pleasure of because it's so fun to vacuum with that vacuum. And then my other tip for home is making a list of all the things you need to do in order to have your home clean, like washing the toilets and the bathroom and vacuuming and cleaning the dust and washing your fridge, whatever. And then just divide it by week, and every week you'll do like, I vacuum and I clean the bathrooms every week, but besides that, I don't need to be doing those things every week because I live alone. I don't make things that dirty. I just keep them clean throughout the week. So then I'll just divide the big, boring chores by week, and every week I do something, and then the house just kind of is good, and you don't have to overwhelm yourself and spend a whole day cleaning every month. Moving on into money, I've only got 2 things, and I recently posted a video on money mistakes that I would avoid making in my 20s, or I avoid making in my 20s, which talks about this topic a lot more in depth, but it's tracking your expenses. If you're not doing this already, this is life-changing. If you track your expenses at the end of the month, you can see where you're spending more money that you'd actually be happy to, where you want to spend more of your money. It doesn't need to be complicated. I do it once a month. I use a Notion template. Here's the Notion template. You can just copy it. You can do it by hand, whatever. Just track your expenses. Number 2, have a budget for leisures. I divide my spendings into 2 categories, and then I have like subcategories, but whatever. The 2 categories are necessary and unnecessary. Necessary is like rent, utilities, food, meds. Unnecessary is literally anything that I do not need to buy. Restaurant, meals, clothes, tickets. So what I do is I think about how much money at the end of the year I would be comfortable knowing that I spent on things that I don't need. Like $5,000, $10,000, whatever feels good for the amount of money you're making. Think about how much, if someone would told you this is how much you spent on unnecessary things, you'd be like, okay, I'm fine with that. Then divide that by 12 months and then make sure that you stay accountable, because adulting is hard, and whenever you start making money, usually either people go crazy because they're like, I have money, let me buy everything, or they'll be like, oh my god, I need to save everything, I don't know what's going on, I'm too afraid to spend, what if I lose my job tomorrow? So if you have a budget, then you can know how much you're comfortable with spending, and you can take the most out of it. Now, about being a good body and brain owner, aka self-care, something I started doing, and I don't do this every day, I'm not perfect, but it really helps, is I read every morning for 15 minutes. And this habit is not about reading. I would recommend you pick something that you like doing, that you can do from home or like fairly easily, and that gives you peace, that makes you feel good about yourself, that you'd wish you could do and you never do. It could be running, it could be cooking, it could be making a smoothie, it could be reading, it could be meditating, it could be something really silly. It could be making the crossword, and put that as the first or one of the first things you do in the morning. I love reading. It gives me a big sense of peace and of accomplishment and feeling good about myself and learning and whatever. If I read 15 minutes in the morning, it's literally not gonna push my day and make me late for anything because it's 15 minutes. But at the end of the month, I will have read a whole book and I will feel so good about it and it'll be so much easier. So pick up a habit that you really want to have and put it as the first thing you do in the morning. We've only got 2 more things. The next one is, if you wear makeup, just take your makeup off. I was listening to a podcast a few years ago where a girl was on a trip and she started talking to this woman that was like 80 years old that was sitting next to her on a plane, and she was like, what is something that you wish you would have done in your life that you didn't and now you regret? Like, what's the secret that you feel like no one knows? And she was like, I would have spent less money in creams and serums and in skincare products, and I would have just made sure I took my makeup off every night before I went to bed. Our skins weren't made to be put on all those products, and sometimes the secrets to having good skin is just drinking a lot of water, not touching your face when you have your hands dirty, putting on some lotion, and taking off the products that you put on there, aka the makeup. And then the last thing is probably a little bit cringy to be talking about, but the more and more that I live my little short 21-year-old life, the more, and I was talking to my mom about this the other day, the more I just think that the secret to life, or like a big key thing that we can do to live a happier life, is just to practice being grateful, to practice thinking about the good things that we have that sometimes just we don't pay attention to. It's normal. We have a billion things to do throughout our days, and we have a billion things we wish we had that we don't, and so it's very easy to not pay attention to what we do have. And when we do pay attention to what we do have, I feel like our brains just instantly feel a lot more at peace. It's like with YouTube comments. If I get 100 good comments and 1 bad comment, that bad comment can really have such a bigger impact than the 100 comments had. So I think an adulting habit that makes me feel a lot more good about myself and like I'm doing a good job is at night just thinking about 5 things that I'm grateful for. It could be very simple, like this pajama is smelling very good because the new laundry detergent I bought smells really good. It could be, I'm happy that I have good friends, even if I haven't talked to them in like a few days. So whatever age you are, if you click this video, it's probably because you feel like you could be doing something better. Just know that you're doing a lot of things. Well, I'm like 99% sure that everyone that's watching this is doing a lot of things well in their lives. So pat yourself on the back, start meal prepping, and take your makeup off. Those are the things I wanted to share with you today. If this was useful, let me know. I have another channel, fashion related, that I've had for like 7 years if you want to check it out. I also have an Instagram if you want to check it out. That's everything I have for you today. I feel like this is such a random video, but yeah, that's all. Bye.